Oh, this is awesome. Okay, and that lever. Okay, clutch. First, ease off on that clutch. We're killing the lab. Too cool. Check that out. That's the coolest thing. What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another WaterHopin episode. We, very clearly, we're up north this weekend, and we just had a wonderful day. I know it's strange, I just set the kayak up in the backyard here. Jeff's about to come roasting around the corner on the quad. Actually, it's Tristan. Tristan's on his quad right now, riding on through. But just set up Caitlin's kayak right here, and I decided I want to give you guys a tour of it today, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, so starting with the back of her kayak, I actually didn't have her actual trolling motor with me while we came out here because we were planning on going motorless. It just so happened I had my trolling motor in the Jeep, and for video's sake I threw it on here, but this is my Endura C240. She runs a Minn Kota as well, but it is a 30-pound thrust, and this is 40-pound thrust, so that's the only difference there between our two trolling motor setups. As for the mount, if you guys are interested in seeing any videos or any details about the build on this, this is actually the mount that you guys saw if you watched my trolling motor mount video or the battery setup. You watched that on this kayak. You didn't watch that on my yellow kayak. This is actually her kayak. It was the project kayak for over the winter, and I think it turned out absolutely awesome. Yeah, so the mount works just exactly like you want it to do. Believe it or not, there are no new holes drilled to put this mount on here. What we did is we dremeled out the existing holes for the bungee cord holders. As you can see, this is where it would have been, and then the back mount just goes through where, hold on, where the handle comes through right there. So all existing holes right there, and nothing new was drilled to make that happen. One of the big setbacks actually with her kayak was the fact that it didn't come with rod holders. So that's something we had to address right there. We went and got these two flush mount rod holders right here. It was a 2-pack for $20 on Amazon. I'll try and find it again and link it below. But what's really nice about them is when you're not using them, you just cap them off. They stay nice and watertight, and just, it's a good system for 20 bucks, I gotta say. All right, here, this is just her information, fishing license, things like that. I don't know, just kayak information pretty much. She normally keeps that stuff down actually in this rod holder. When she's not using it, I had to take it out because, yeah, we're doing the video, obviously. So the cord for the battery runs down underneath into the hatch, runs through, back through here. You can see on the other side here we have another flush mount rod holder, and that's where she keeps her net for quick access. This right here, actually, I can't show you guys right now because I can't stick the motor up 100%, but this is the extended handle that she uses. Actually, this is my extended handle, and her extended handle is just a little bit different, but like I said, we don't have her motor with us, but they're both very much similar, just PVC, painted black, meant to adapt to the trolling motor that we're using. All right, so we're moving a little bit more forward here now. You see this tackle box sitting here. This is my day box, but basically it's just an example to show how we use behind her seat right here as a little storage compartment. She can keep her tackle boxes that she has with her. When we're out on the water, you can put 2 planos right there and like a 5-gallon bag of soft plastics, and nothing's gonna go anywhere. It actually turned out to work pretty well. These are just a little bit too big to fit down straight in that like that, but sitting like that is perfect. Obviously right here, this is her auto inflate PFD. You guys don't wear a PFD, you should think about changing to that lifestyle. I know all you need to do is have one with you to be legal, but think about wearing one actually when you're on the water. If you can do that, you guys are going to be tremendously safer, and something like an auto inflate is a great decision because basically they lay flat onto you and it's very not bulky. The biggest problem I think a lot of people have with wearing a life jacket is the fact that they're so bulky, and that's why I went with the auto inflates for myself and the Darlin, just because they're easy to wear and they don't really cause a lot of discomfort. And yeah, that's about it. All right, so let's move this stuff out of the way. Show you guys this seat, because she has a seat unlike my kayak. She's a little smaller and her kayak has a little bit of an more open hull area, so we were able to make the seat work. We actually bought 2 of these hoping to put them on both of our kayaks, but it turns out I was a little bit too big for it, so we installed it on my kayak and we actually had to take it off, and now I just use the memory foam pad in my crate as a backrest, and it works just fine. But for her, this is absolutely perfect. We got these online. This is the Deckmate boat seat. It's I think it went $30. I'm gonna try and link it below, and then to make it so we had it set at the exact backrest like length or angle that she wanted, we put these little stoppers here to just make sure everything's working copacetic, and she sits perfectly like that. And then when we transport the kayak, there's a little pin right here. You pull this out, lay the seat down, and then you re-put the pin, and then the seat stays in the locked position down. Works pretty much flawlessly actually. All right, so next thing we're coming to is the paddle right here. Obviously it's clipped into these paddle clips that we have installed. Those were not factory. We put those on. We got them once again on Amazon. I think we got a 4-pack for like 10 bucks. It was something ridiculously cheap. Then she has the same anchor I do, little plate anchor, 5-pound weight. Just slide that along underneath you with about 35 feet of paracord. Like I said, you guys can see the battery cable runs through and up above, and then here's your positive and negative. I don't have the battery hooked up right now because it's a very heavy battery, and I think you guys get the picture. If you really want to see how the whole battery setup works, I have a video specifically talking about that. It sits up front here, and it works absolutely perfect for her. Let's get a quick sip. GoPro mount right here. If you guys watched the video where she went out and tested this kayak out for the first time this year, minus the motor, but all these little modifications we made, this was the perspective you guys watched it on. Just this little jaw clamp, 2 goosenecks, and then just clamped right on right there like that. All right, so just like on my kayak, we installed this rod holder right there. We got a 2-pack from Bass Pro Shops, as you guys can see, and they're basically actually meant for a boat, but what we found is they thread in perfectly into this PVC right here. This is 1-inch PVC. It's just a T with a threaded top, and then they work perfect, so you can just adjust them to your needs when you're out on the water, and of course you can lock them to keep your rod safe, make sure it doesn't go anywhere. All right, so basically the last thing I want to talk about right here is her anchor trolley. And I didn't really talk about it in detail on my kayak build, just because there was a lot of more things going on with my kayak. By the way, if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to go ahead and link that in the description below as well, and you guys can check that out. But the way the anchor trolley really works is just with this cam jam right here, going to a carabiner hook. Obviously there's paracord, and and then you have mini pulleys on either end, and it absolutely works perfect for pretty much when you're trying to adjust your anchor. You just slide it back and forth, and it positions your boat, angles you on the water so that you can fish more effectively. All right, guys, so that is going to bring an end to today's video and the tour of Caitlin's kayak. It was actually requested by more than a few people because her setup is so different than mine, but still so effective. It's just a much more simpler, more dialed in, simpler, effective fishing platform, basically. This is a 10.5-foot Viper sit-in kayak, and it's actually from, what was it, Menards or Costco? Menards. From Menards. I think it ran like $180 retail. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think it was around $180. And we have made it so now she can actually, we didn't put outriggers on this kayak, but she's actually able to stand and fish out of this kayak, which is, well, I couldn't do it, but she's small enough and balanced enough that she's able to do it. Motor on the back and 3 rod holders makes it absolutely perfect and simple for her. No fish finder on this kayak, nothing too fancy on this kayak, but basically it's just a super effective, simple fishing platform. Not quite the craziness that my kayak is, but still very comfortable to fish out of, especially with that seat. That was pretty much a game changer. You can do all the changes you want, in my opinion, to your kayak, but if you don't have a comfortable seat, you're not gonna have a good time because you just won't be able to stay on the water because you're gonna be so uncomfortable. But I think we changed that. She's been doing, she says it's a very comfortable seat. And so if you guys are thinking about adding one of these kind of seats to your sitting kayak, think about looking that one up because it worked perfect for her. And any of you guys watching out there, you think about getting this kayak for your girlfriend and maybe potentially customly setting it up for her, that's a perfect seat. Just trust me on that one. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Hit that like button for me. Obviously, we're out in Michigan, and it's been a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. This is the 4th of July weekend, although this video is probably going to come out in quite some time from now. But yeah, been a wonderful time. Hope you guys had a great 4th and are having a great, probably August when this comes out. I don't know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button for me and drop some comments below what you thought about her kayak versus my kayak. All right, guys, keep water hopping, and I'll see you soon.